Over the next couple months, I have some really cool build ideas I want to make on my hardcore world. That takes a lot of material, which is why I'm going to be making every essential farm I need to survive in this video. Starting with our first farm, which is a villager breeder, with us producing only 10 villagers an hour. But like I said, this is only the first one out of a lot more, with our next farm being 10 times faster, producing 100 items an hour, and that is our bee farm. And the reason for this build being in the nether is because in the overworld there's a day and night cycle, and the bees only use the farm during the day. But since the nether doesn't have a day and night cycle, it works all the time. Now the next farm we have takes over 2,500 scaffolding, so we're gonna have to go get that. Alright, well, hopefully this is enough bamboo. And with that, we pretty much have everything we need for this farm except 16 wither roses, which is surprisingly easy to get. But first, we need to build a chicken pen. Come on. Come on. I'm totally not going to kill your children. And once we get all the chickens we need, we can use all the eggs that we have here as ways to get wither roses. Alright, and with that, we have over a stack of wither roses. Now we can start working on the farm. I'll have you know, this is taking me an hour already. And with that, the Shulker Farm is finally ready. Well, almost. I still need to transport the Shulker from the end city all the way to our farm. Please tell me this works. If this works, the Shulker should teleport all the way up to it. Is it on one of the platforms? Oh my god, it is. And after a bit of AFKing, we have almost 2,000 Shulker shells here, which is good because our next farm takes a lot of storage. That being the infamous iron farm, which is actually good because some of these farms take a lot of hoppers. And unlike the Shulker one, I can have this one right next to my base, which makes things way easier. All right, we finally finished setting up the perimeter, and that's a good thing too because my shovel is almost about to break. So we'll find the center right here. Okay, so this platform I did for one side, all we have to do is it 3 more times around the other side. So now the only thing we really need to do is transport the villagers and zombies into their cages, which hopefully is easier than the shulkers. Come on, just get on the bed. Just get. Thank you. Okay, that was good. Okay, we're halfway there. Okay, that's one. Second one. Third one. And you know what's funny? I haven't even put the zombies in yet, and iron golems are already spawning. So that's a good sign. All right, finally got our last villager. 24 total villagers, by the way. I had to transport all the way from down here to up here. We only have to do the zombies now, which is way easier because there's only 4. And just like that, the iron farm is finally finished. I also went ahead and built a sugarcane and bone meal farm as well. And with the sugarcane and bone meal farm finished, we can work on our final farm in the small section, and that is our wood farm. I think since we have our bone meal farm right here, we'll go ahead and make the tree farm right next to it. And then we'll go ahead and turn the farm on. And once we place this redstone, the TNT duper should start. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. What did I do? I did something and it worked. Okay, you know what? I don't know what that was, but the farm works and I'm happy about it. Oh wait, I need to make a storage system. And another cool thing about this tree farm is that it could do any wood type, including the ones from the nether, which makes it really great for future projects I have. And our first farm in our medium section is going to be our cobblestone farm, which can produce up to 60,000 cobblestone an hour. Now, we do have this farm already, but as you can see, it's really slow. So I think we're just going to stick with the other farm instead. And with that, the cobblestone farm is finished. All we need to do now is add our storage system because, granted, we're going to need a lot of space. And with that, we can finally start the farm. I have a feeling this is going to be really loud. I think it's working. I couldn't tell. That looked like it broke. Look at how much cobble we're getting here. Now, while our next farm doesn't produce as many as the cobblestone farm, it's infinitely expandable, so it can eventually pass it, which is our melon farm. Now, I don't know how high this is going to be. It could go all the way to max height, but I will not waste my time doing that. Although it does take only a certain amount of materials, so it's not too difficult to build. Now, I know what you might be saying. Why? Well, on January 1st, I posted this. Year of 2024, I'll be placing 1 emerald block for every subscriber I get on my hardcore world. And let me tell you, with this melon farm, getting melons is so easy. And they could trade for a lot of emeralds. So far, we honestly haven't made that much progress. But if you guys want to help me build this beacon, consider subbing. Ow. Now, the first farm in our medium category is going to be a guardian farm. We do have all the materials right here since they were pretty easy to get, but we do need to do some things before we build the farm, such as killing all the elder guardians and then clearing up any kelp that's on the monument. All right, I believe that is all the kelp removed. It took a lot longer than I thought. Now we can finally start building our farm. It is a bit scary that I don't have any armor on because of my invisibility, but if they were to start hitting me, I would probably die. So let's just hope that does not happen. Okay, so now that the collection system is done, we still need to do the other part in the nether. Okay, I believe that's everything I needed to do here. Now we just have to fill in this whole square with soul sand. Uh-oh, I am about to drown. Okay, we're good. And with our final soul sand placed, we have finished this entire area. Now, the main reason I built a guardian farm is simply because I could get sea lanterns with it, which is really useful if I'm building something and I need light. Now, for my previous video, we did already build a creeper farm that I used for my fireworks, but as you guys can see, it's not that good, which is why I want to build one that, I kid you not, is 100 times bigger. And it's so big, we have to map out a whole perimeter for it. And if you don't know what that means, it's this. Which, if you're wondering how big that is this entire area within the iron block. Now, first things first, I do have to get rid of all the trees. And with that, the setup is pretty much complete. We can now finally start working on our TNT duper. This took really long to do. So the plan is to build a TNT duper machine that's similar to the one in my end video and just have it run overnight until it breaks all the way down to bedrock. Okay, now if I break this redstone block, that should start the machine. I don't know what to do about you. Okay. It's insane how loud it is from way over here. While this is a good sign, once it hits that redstone area, you have to hope it returns back to its original spot. Because if not, then I wasted a lot of time. Oh my god, finally! You guys may be wondering why I'm so happy about that. That's because this wasn't my first try, and I couldn't tell you guys how hard that was. Now, in cases that there's any water or lava, we'll just simply have to plug it up. Thankfully, with water, we could just use sponges, but for the lava, we'll probably have to use normal blocks. So, hopefully this doesn't take too long. Okay, so I might have severely underestimated how long this takes. And I also might have chosen the worst spot possible because there was just so much water. And also, note to self, do not record replays for too long because they just won't open. But we have finished the first level of this entire 16 by 16 chunk area. But we do have to go all the way down to bedrock. I'm starting to wish the Caves and Cliffs update didn't exist. And after a lot of time, we have finally finished our perimeter for this farm, which I still need to collect the materials to build. Now, by this point, you're probably wondering why I need a whole perimeter for this farm, which is totally understandable. Basically, in this entire area, no mobs are gonna spawn. So when we build this farm, the mobs are only gonna be able to spawn on that platform where the farm is, making it really fast. Alright, so now that we've finished the overworld section of this farm, we can go into the nether and build the collection system. How do I get here without creepers killing me? We'll go ahead and place the portal here where the mobs can go through. And now from here, we pretty much just need to build the collection system. Okay, so we finally finished the creeper farm. I hope. I have a tendency for these farms not working right away. But honestly, the only way to test if this works is to go into the overworld and AFK. Okay, so it's been about 40 minutes. We're gonna see how this farm did and see if I wasted pretty much an entire week or not. Oh my goodness. How much is this? Okay, so I just did a count between all the shulkers, and if I'm right, this is around 16,000 items, which is just insane. I finally made a farm that works right the first time. In a Minecraft world, gold can be really essential. You can use it for builds, you could use it for trading, you can use it for a beacon like I did in my old video, or you can use it for something that's really important to survival, golden apples. And from trading with villagers, we do get a fair amount of apples, but I don't have any gold to craft them with. And so I'm gonna build a gold farm that can produce over 200,000 items an hour. And you bet that's going to take a lot of materials. Starting out with 10,000 magma blocks. All right, we have one shulker filled up, which is only 1,700. We need about 6 more shulkers. All right, it did take a bit to get, but we do have all the magma blocks we need right here. And thankfully, all the other blocks we need are way easier to get due to our farms. After a lot of traveling and grinding, we have all of the materials listed here that we need to build this gold farm, which I hope doesn't take as long. Now, before we build this farm, we do need to find a nether waste biome. And even though this portal is on the nether roof, if we just keep flying, we should be able to see... Oh, wait. I'm already in another waste biome. Well, that makes my life easier. Now, I don't want to build it too close to my creeper collection farm since I don't know if that'll break it. So I think having it right here should be perfect. Okay, that didn't take too long. How the hell are you guys here? The farm isn't even close to being built, but I mean, I guess this is a good sign. All right, with the first part of the gold farm in the nether done, we're gonna go ahead and head to the overworld and build the bridge there. We need to go to Y level 179. All right, and if I did this right, this portal should link to the top of the farm. All right, perfect. Ouchie. All right, with that portal link, we can build the bridge. I don't know if I looked at the material list wrong, but I do not remember it being this much glass. Either way, that is the overworld section done. Thank goodness. With the overworld section finished, we can finally start on the final piece of this farm, which thankfully is the easiest. Okay, this should link up with that portal right near the pistons. Why the Where the flying is this? Alright, it took a lot of fixing, but I finally got something to work. It looks incredibly scuffed, but for some reason the portal was connecting to the wrong one, so I just had to move it back, and this works, so I'm not gonna be upset about it. And if we were to go to our chest, we just have an insane amount of gold already. Now, what am I gonna do with all this gold? I honestly have no idea. Now, just to my last video, a lot of you guys have commented that I need a totem. And you're right, almost dying is not ideal. Thanks to Garlic Bread, they found a way to build the ultimate stacking raid farm. Has 2.2 million drops per hour. I'll be honest, I don't even know if my computer can handle that. And the materials are not easy to get either. White stained glass will probably be the easiest material we need. And since I have my bone meal farm, getting white dye is not too difficult. Okay, so I just looked at the material list. We only needed about 14 stacks. I may or may not have gotten double, but hey, overkill never hurt no one. Okay, 180 white concrete. That will be easy to get. We do need a good amount of quartz, which will be easy, but it's a bit of a pain to get. 40 obsidian and rookie numbers right there. Okay, 1 soul sand and 1 stone, and that should be everything we need for this farm. Honestly, for the amount of items this farm makes, this is not a lot of materials. Let's just hope I build it right. And I'm pretty sure with raid farms, the best place to put them is in the ocean because obviously no mobs can spawn. So I think we'll just go ahead and place it right around here. Now, for the first section of this farm, we do need to build the villager cages, which is basically what keeps the raid farm on loop. So I believe we have the overworld section finished, and it looks very confusing. However, we do need to make the second part of the farm in the nether. So we're going to go ahead and light this portal, and then we'll go ahead and light these two on the farm, and hopefully this portal links into the overworld area. Okay, that is a really good sign. Now all we need to do is build the lava chamber. Now that the glass cage is finished, we have to do the most time-consuming part of this farm. Remember the cages I built earlier? Yeah, we have to put over 20 villagers in there. So we'll go ahead and just build a river down to the ocean. What's going on here? What's happening? How has this happened? Now, honestly, I don't know whether it's faster to transport almost 30 villagers all the way from over there to here, or just make a little breeding station. But realistically, it doesn't really matter for you guys, because the power of editing exists. I mean, this only took me like 20 minutes at most, so it wasn't too bad. The only thing left to do now is just cart them all the way up to their spots. Okay. Oh my god, that is the final villager. And I got these beacons from the other farms because I'm too lazy to get 4 more. I'll just power them with every enchant that we need. I believe the only thing we need to do now is actually get Bad Omen. There we go. And yes, this is actually my first time getting a raid. Don't judge. That's what the whole point of this farm is for. But once we get to the farm, a raid should start. So I AFK'd in maybe around 5 to 10 minutes, and the amount of stuff here is pretty impressive. I already threw out most of the crossbows. I am kind of curious. Oh my goodness. That is a lot of emeralds, actually. Well, now at least you guys can stop bothering me about getting a totem. And as per usual with my hardcore world, we'll go ahead and put our item in there and the title of the video, and that is our second item in our museum.